Alright, so is this thing working? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, one quick create. Yeah, okay. So, my name is Christian, and my brother has been bugging me for literally years to watch anime. And I admittedly am Western biased. The only anime I've ever been exposed to was only for pre-existing things that I already liked, like the Animatrix, or the anime for Mass Effect, or that awesome TIE Fighter.
Fan-made video.
Yeah, fan-made video that came out. So I only went in for pre-existing things, and I mean, I'm not exactly sure what I had against. I think part of it was I thought it would be more of Japanese culture, and that it would be weird.
Well, okay, I will admit, Japan's really weird.
Well,
And anime can be really, really, really weird.
so Nick begged me to watch Cowboy Bebop. And I've been making him play all these Armada games and Game of Thrones videos, so the least I could do was go ahead and try this one to start out with and see if I liked it. And I gotta admit, I like Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, yep, you heard that here, internet. A guy who used to hate anime for his youth now likes at least one. And good thing it is Cowboy Bebop, though, because the thing is, Chris, Cowboy Bebop is considered like the golden standard when it comes to anime.
I know. I was reading that too after so I went in blind. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't watch or read any reviews. I just went into it blind, and it took me. I had no idea what genre it was, what the time was, anything. So I really do enjoy it. It's really good. There's a lot of things I like about it. There's some things I dislike about it. But I am kind of worried if you're introducing me to the very best. And now is everything else going to be...
Well, the thing is, Cowboy Bebop is considered, some people call it the best anime ever, but the thing is, Chris, there are some anime that exceed it in other fields, when it's animation or sometimes when it's epic storytelling.
Well, so one of my few criticisms for this, and I'm sure it's something that will probably get better. I don't know how much of it is the show versus anything in the 90s, but the main female character is like not a flattering portrayal of women.
Oh, Faye Valentine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put a little photo of her. Yep, that's her outfit. I'll admit, I'm not a big fan of it either.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a stereotypical, what would a 17-year-old Japanese man draw of a woman? And so we don't need to go into all the negative. Let's continue on. Well,
and the thing is, Chris, don't worry. Her character, she has a pretty bad start, but eventually she becomes a bit more complex. She becomes more likable, and after a while, you start to realize why she is the way she is.
Well, part of it is the main male characters, Spike and Jet, I believe.
Yes.
They are both, for the most part, calculated. They're shown as intelligent. Not necessarily. They're like not non-emotional, but they're in control of their emotions. They are purposeful. They're skilled. In their own ways. Like Spike is probably a little bit immature compared to Jet, but part of that is just like the age and roughness.
Well, yeah, Faye Valentine is so far. Well, if you don't count I'm the little corgi, she is the youngest of the members. I think that she's roughly in her early 20s, and Spike is in his early.
He's 27.
What?
I looked it up. He's 27.
Okay, Spike is 27.
And Jet's like 30 something.
36, I think.
Yeah. Something like
I'll put a little correction.
Yeah, there may be some age difference. But so, gosh, I don't want to. Like, I don't know if we should just start with the negatives, because like there's a lot of things I liked, but like at least in the first 10 episodes I've seen, I'm like, oh man, like like if you're, I'm also thinking of perspective, like if you're a kid watching this, you're like, I want to be like Spike, I want to be like Jed, I want to be able to build stuff, or even I want to be like the computer hacker. No one would be like, I want to be Faye Valentine.
Oh, so you actually like Ed?
I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Oh, real? Oh, that's kind of comforting because I thought she would be the most annoying character for you.
Well, I mean, she's 13, so she's allowed to be weird and eccentric. But this is a grown woman that, like I'm not even gonna, like, the way she dresses, that's fine. Like, because we all know the context of like their culture, and I'm not gonna say she like dresses like skankier and like that. Women are allowed to have like big boobs in the figure that they have. So I'm not gonna like falter on this fictional character on that. Like, I'm not gonna slut shame her like for that.
Don't worry, Chris. She does get better as the series progresses.
But I guess what I don't like is that she has these constant emotional outbursts. She's incredibly selfish and narcissistic, and it's beyond just like, oh, this is a broken character. Because if you had more than one adult woman, you could make one of them like that. But like, I feel like part of it is a portrayal is, this is what women are. And like, problems aside, I'm sure there's a segment of men and Japanese men that's like, this is what women are. They are neat, and I'm talking with my hands right now, which means nothing for this audio. But they are needy. They, so I don't want to harp too much on it, like, which
I think maybe we did.
I'm going to move on, and we're going to shelve this issue.
Okay.
When we go into further actions.
Okay. Now,
because I don't want anyone even starting out with this like, oh, So let's talk about we can talk about the first episode.
Okay, Session 1, Asteroid Blues, the pilot for Cowboy Bebop. So, Chris, did the pilot do its job? Did you become instantly hooked after you watching that?
Yeah, for the most part. The first shot, the first scene where it's like him and the flowers and, the gunfight, I had no clue what was going on. And I guess that's all flashbacks and all intros. But the opening credits in the that music that goes with it and the art style, I think that hooked me on early on more than anything else.
Everybody loves the Cowboy Bebop opening scene, and it's one of my favorite anime opening
Now,
scenes.
the only thing that this is a minor criticism, but one of the minor spoilers aspects of it is there are women dancing around in the opening sequence too, and you can tell that there's going to be 4 main characters, and it starts out as just the 2 guys. So really early on, I'm like, all right, I know there are going to be female companions that join them. That's super minor overall. If anyone has any question about whether or not they should watch it, they should just watch just that that intro. Because it does, explains a little bit. There's that little blurb that's 2071. You can tell it's somewhat futuristic with the spaceships flying around.
Yep.
So that I really liked. Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So early on in the episode, all I could think of, this is Firefly. And to be fair,
this show came out before Firefly. This came out in 1998.
I know. This show came out way before
So
Firefly.
this is proto Firefly.
Actually, I know Firefly was in the 2000s. This whole show, not just this episode, this whole show, I'm like, oh, this is an animated Firefly. I love Firefly.
We're gamers.
Yeah.
There's a good margin of gamers who love Firefly.
Yeah, the Venn diagram is pretty much a circle of people like us that like Firefly. And if you aren't aware of Firefly, you should watch Firefly. Watch this and watch Firefly. I'm not sure in which order, depending on if you like animes or not. But this whole show, and part of it is because they're both space westerns, and that one's like further along in the future because they're actually in a different solar system. This one is in the Earth solar system, which I like, especially since it's only 2071.
Yeah, and they have terraformed planets and asteroids throughout the entire solar system.
So I really like the premise of it. One small bug, it's like we have interplanetary space travel. We have these gates that like accelerate, shorten the travel between these planets, and yet every gun is a conventional gun that you can get at the store right now. So,
if anything, Chris, I think that actually helps into the aesthetic. Because even though this is the future, it's still a crap shack world.
Yeah, that's true. But we don't have interplanetary space travel. Like, if you can accelerate something to the point where it can travel to other systems, you would be using Mass Effect guns, or just magnetic accelerated so. That's a minor gripe. It's a gritty world. It's not like everything is perfect future. It is a gritty future, which I like.
Yeah, but a future that is just as good, just as bad as today.
What it should be is most of the guns are regular guns, but there are a few rich assholes that have they even have the lasers on the satellite, and when they do some fighter combat, they have some advanced weaponry there. So everyone, and maybe this even happens, but they should come across a few rich, well-financed criminals, and they should have more advanced weaponry. Because maybe the world is just flooded with cheap guns, so no one would ever use a laser because a gun still kills you and it costs 1,000th of the price. That's fine. That would be fine. So they should, I would like it if they would intro some futuristic weapons. Because if you didn't know that this was, especially this first episode, except for the few times they hop into their ships, you would think this is just a crime noir. Which is good. So yeah, the first episode, really great. Talking about better female characters, the criminal who's spoilers, fake pregnant,
her name is Katrina.
Katrina is a way better rational female character than Faye Valentine ever is. And so she's much more compelling. She's much deeper. You could tell that she is an intellectual equal to Spike, if not her superior. She knows more than what's going on. So when you contrast her character to Faye Valentine's, who's just a more or less ditzy, emotional, selfish, self-involved character, shallow, and you can be those things, but not if you're the only female.
Don't worry about telling the audience spoilers, Chris. So go ahead and tell the ending, tell everything that you like, because it is such a shame that Katrina dies at the end. But I've already seen the entire series, and I will tell you, Chris, this is going to fit with the overall narrative.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm fine with it. When I was watching it, I was he's going to turn in her boyfriend, and Spike is going to capture the boyfriend, and maybe she even joins. I was thinking, this could be that female that I see dancing around in the intro, and then their spaceship is blown up, which was an amazing shot.
Yeah.
Of just the
Yeah.
drugs flying around.
Yeah, and she actually mercy kills her boyfriend because she knows that they are about to suffer. And since he is hooked up on freaking blood red or red eye drugs, which is basically weaponized crack, and so she shoots him in the head, cradles him, and then
she gets blasted.
Yes, by freaking Macross bullet massacre.
Yep. So, one thing I thought was a little weird was they go over and over again that these bounties have to be brought in alive. Like, they don't get paid if they don't get brought in alive. But she gets blasted the crap out of by the police. It's not like the crime people that she ripped off, which would have made more sense. But it ended up being the police just like destroying the whole ship. And I was like, well, if you have to bring them in alive all the other times, why was it okay for the police just to gun this ship down?
Well, this isn't really. I don't think this is discussed very much in the series, but basically, the police forces are too spread out. It's a big it's a big solar system. They don't have the resource to police everything, which is why bounty hunters have become very popular now, since the government can simply play vigilantes to get the criminals themselves.
Yeah, maybe that's the limit on their power, that bounty hunters can't kill
and
legally.
Yes, and also that the police force in the solar system, they are still very corrupt.
Yeah, I've gotten some hints of that. So I really liked the first episode.
Right, now let's move on to the second episode, where the Cowboy Bebop crew get a new addition.
Yeah, so I like this episode too. Even though it is a character who knows what his race was originally, it was a cool black character. Even though he had just done facial surgery, so
he is ambiguously brown.
Yeah. So
honestly, I don't really think they really dwelled into what he used to look like or what he really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find that that I like the idea that it was the ripped off facial surgeon doctor who gave him the tip, because so he was willing to do something criminal of helping this person change their identity so they could get away from the police. But when that person got ripped off, he went ahead and put out a tip for him, which I liked. That was because if you betray someone, they're not gonna show you any loyalty. Yeah. So
right. So do you have any opinions on the dog itself?
I mean, he's interesting, and I know he's supposed to be like really intelligent, and he's already done like a few things that kind of hint at that intelligence. But I mean, it could be better. Like the thing could be cuter. I don't know. I
actually that's one thing that I do like about Cowboy Bebop is that they don't exaggerate the proportions of the animals, which I think is actually a positive. Because in anime, it's pretty typical for animals that has like these geki moe type designs with freakishly big eyes that are almost as big as their own heads.
Yeah, that's true. Overall, except for Faye Valentine's like proportions, this is a pretty rational world.
Well, Chris, I mean, Spike's proportions are also all too. He has freakishly long limbs.
Yeah, that's true too. But for the most part, like the eyes are normal. So I like that style. I like the mostly realism that they had there. The dog is fine. It was I liked how like that pet shop owner, just the haggling with them over the price.
Yeah, no, I love that the pet shop owner. Although, how the hell did she house an ostrich back there?
Yeah, well, who knows what's popular, and maybe ostrich eggs are a huge delicacy
Mm.
in the future. But I liked it. It was interesting. It had great fight scenes. Um, no, I definitely like that one. I hope does that because so he gets arrested and ends up keeping the dog. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised like the police weren't interested in this illegally created dog.
Well, but the
did
police did not know that I was a data dog, and
No.
and I don't even think Spike and Jet even knows that he's a data dog.
No, they said. I think they noticed that there was something important. Either way, so that was a good episode. I enjoyed
Okay.
it.
And now let's talk about your favorite episode, the one where Faye Valentine shows up for the first time. Honky Tonk Woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it reminds me of just like the handful of like Pokemon episodes or other Japanese cartoons I've seen where it's just like the girl is just over exaggerated and like shouts and is just really emotionally immature, and it's just like, God, like why, like I'm not some ultra feminist, but it's like holy crap, women aren't like this in the real world. Yes, some women are, but you can't have 100% of your female characters on the ship be this, like not a bad person, but a terrible person. Like so.
Well, Uncle Chris, Spike isn't exactly an angel either.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not saying that. Not bad as in like evil. I mean, she's a terrible person just because she's so narcissistic. She only cares about herself, and she is this emotionally. She has the emotional IQ of a 7-year-old, and it's just. I don't know.
Watch it in the next 10 episodes, Chris. She improves.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she does. So, I like the whole casino thing. I like the chip being data. I mean it's a common trope, but it works.
Fallout New Vegas anyone?
Well, that and many other things. There have been James Bond, like a lot of spy and crime stuff happen at casinos. Overall, it was a good episode.
Yeah, but for as much as you hate Faye Valentine, you gotta admit, at the end of this series, she handled her shit pretty well. Dodging all of those missiles. That was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I just can't like her.
Okay, all right, and now moving on to the next episode, which is called Monkey Business. Ain't this gonna be fun?
This one was there's definitely some larger themes that they talk about in this series, which I definitely like. This one was the eco-terrorists, pretty much, and it was really interesting of just how you could have a peaceful organization that does good, and then like a charismatic leader kind of takes over, and they start going beyond what they should do.
Yeah.
And they start, using violence and threats, and they take the extreme approach. So I really like this.
Yeah, in that opening scene where they gun down an entire restaurant just because they eat sea rats as a delicacy, then they throw out a grenade that projects a hologram that plays this freaking like children's lullaby and saying, "We are the space warriors and we are just here to help nature."
Yeah. So, one thing that kind of reminded me was Futurama. The woman that
she's called Mama by her group, but let's see, what's her name? I'm not making this up, people. Twinkle Maria Murdoch.
Yeah, Mom is better. But it also reminds me of the older mom character that's in Futurama that has like her stooge sons, and is part of like the mom robot company or something like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That would be hilarious if they teamed up. Well, like maybe someone makes this fan animation, the two of them meeting each other.
So both of them bad moms, very degrading to their children. And doesn't she end up testing the chemical on one of her followers?
Yeah, I suspect that I think his name was Harrison. I think he was the mole that the ISSP put into her organization.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They
Yeah.
they never really dove into that.
Yeah, and also I did like of how this episode shows what the solar system government is like. I mean, they are wusses.
Yeah, they're wusses and they're definitely corrupt.
But if anything, it does highlight why the solar system needs bounty hunters like Jed and Spike.
Yeah. It was this was a really good episode.
And then comes the next episode, which has one of the most memorable scenes in the series, and not only in the series, but anime in general.
See, this one I wasn't. I mean, I don't know if I wasn't like paying close enough attention, but this one didn't like grab me nearly as much as the other ones.
I guess you would have to see the entire series and entire narrative to realize why this episode is so good.
So so the main character Spike, he used to be part of a crime gang.
He used to be called he used to be a hitman for the Red Dragon criminal syndicate.
Yeah, so like this is one of them, and they're going after him essentially.
Yeah, well, his partner in crime, Vicious, is after him.
Right.
Yeah, Vicious was the guy with the sword and the crow.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is my own fault. I just wasn't. Maybe I wasn't paying as close attention to this one, but I don't know. It didn't. Like it was interesting, and there were parts of it that I liked, but it just wasn't as memorable to me as the other ones. Maybe because this was just more of a generic revenge, your past coming back to get you kind of story.
Yeah. But thing is, this episode I think also highlights just how dead inside Spike truly is. Because remember, there's this one scene where he sees all these men pointing guns at him in a church, and there's one of Vicious's henchmen holding Faye Valentine at gunpoint, but Spike still shoots him in the head. Simply because Spike doesn't really care about his life, and of course he probably doesn't care about Faye Valentine that much either.
Yeah, see, that was part of it too. Was like Faye Valentine wasn't really I guess technically she's a member of the crew, but like if she died there, it would have been she doesn't mean anything to him. She's not a good hostage. Now, if it was Jet that was there, that would have been a better hostage. I don't know. It was like
yes, but
it had some cool shots.
Yes, but in the end, she does. Even though she does run away from the gunfights, she comes back and saves Spike.
That's true.
Yeah, and not to mention there is that famous scene where Vicious stabs Spike in the chest, throws a grenade right behind Vicious, exploding, and there's this beautiful Serenidad music playing as Spike slowly falls down from the church windows, and flashback and coming back, ending into where he is being tended to his wounds by a beautiful blonde woman. It's one of the best scenes in anime.
That's funny. It's funny how like this episode didn't speak to me nearly as much, and like this was like the end all. That's kind of funny.
Okay, now the next episode, I'll admit I wasn't very too keen on. Like you could skip this episode and it wouldn't really do much for you. Sympathy for the Devil, the one where an immortal child gets shot in the face.
Actually, this one I kind of liked.
Oh really? Wow, we really have a
different taste,
polarizing taste in this series.
Yeah, this one was fine. I like the idea that there's this people think as a child was really an older, like it's someone who just stays at that physical age, but it's really like a crime one. I guess there were some. I guess I kind of like the sci-fi tropes of it rather than the episode itself. But it was kind of interesting. Him going after him and like trying to solve the case. This was like a crime. This was like a detective kind of episode.
Yeah, although it does make me question a little bit. So, when we first see that that there's something obviously wrong with the kid, he shoots a Spike in the arm when he's 30 feet away from him. Shoots him right in the arm. But in that final showdown, he misses Spike 3 times.
I wonder if part of that is because he wants that. Yeah, like I agree with you. I was thinking he was maybe missing on purpose, because he wants that like gem, or was Spike just like so confident that he was?
Well, then again, right before.
Because he wants that gem from him.
Yeah. But right before Wen shoots at Spike, that's the kid's name. His name is Wen. Spike did cause his car to crash.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be that maybe he's just a little disoriented.
Yeah.
And Spike knew that, so that's probably why he didn't even flinch when he was being shot at, which I'll admit was kind of badass.
Yeah. It was more cool for Spike than anything else.
Okay, now this is a series that I do like simply because I'm a little bit biased for heavy metal music.
Yeah, this episode, like, I don't like heavy metal music, and it was kind of like a pointless episode.
Yeah, I'll admit it didn't really help with the overall narrative, but I liked VT. The trucker woman. She was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it's just I really don't have anything to say about it. Like I could have skipped this episode. And I wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah. Okay. Waltz for Venus.
This one I like. So this is the one with Jet, right? Where you go? No, that is wrong. Is this like the one with the plant? What's this one? Yes. Okay. Yeah, this one was okay. I kind of like the fact that like people are admiring Spike for his abilities. That was kind of interesting. Plus, this was I guess the first episode where they're on Venus and they talk about how the helium's a little bit higher. So it's just like just the background of like the terraforming and like just world building was kind of interesting. I liked how he visits the sister at the end after he died. Like, so, the guy helps him. He's in the run from a gang that he stole something from. A very common, stealing stuff from criminals. They're always after you. So that happens in a lot of crime, and especially Western kind of stuff. So. It was kind of an interesting episode. It wasn't like amazing, but it was fine.
Okay. Now, session 9, Jamming with Edward, the episode where Edward appears for the first time.
Okay, this episode I really liked. Maybe this could just be my sci-fi. This is a sci-fi episode. So one, I like how they show Earth. And how it's not destroyed or anything like that, but it's just like it's not.
It is not as habitable as
right.
it used
Exactly.
to be.
Yeah. I like the whole stone showers and stuff or what did they call it? Was it rock showers or something?
I forget too. But it was revealed in the episode featuring the little immortal demon child that. The first testing of the gate or the hyperspace gateway, called the gate incident. It exploded and took a chunk of the moon, and so chunks of the moon are in orbit around the Earth, and they occasionally bombard the Earth. This makes the BP oil spill look like. Let's see, like just spilled oil from a skillet.
So yeah, I like this. I like how the Earth exists some people are still living there, but not as many. That it happened because of the transport gates. One thing that, like, if they constantly have these rock showers, how come all these old satellites are still in orbit? You would think with the crazy amount of bombardment that the Earth gets, that most of these satellites over the last 50 years would probably be, maybe they're even higher orbit, but if it's stuff coming from the moon, I don't know.
Well, the satellites Infondu or okay, basically the sentient satellites. He was an advanced form of AI, so maybe he was simply dodging.
Or like
rocks.
maybe all those lasers kind of help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a really interesting artificial intelligence. The fact that because of the devastation that happened to Earth, there isn't clear records anymore of what all these satellites are. They're just kind of just continuing to run on themselves. I like that. It's also kind of who knows, maybe Destiny stole this idea, but it's kind of Destiny in the war minds of like how they're artificial intelligence created by humans to serve humans are just kind of off on their own, doing their own thing because we've kind of forgotten about them. So I liked it. I liked the lasers recreating those Indian art. That's real
really,
stuff.
It's not Indian. I think I'm more South African.
No, it's South America.
Sorry, South America. Dang it, sorry. South America.
Yeah.
South
So
America.
no, that was like those things. I believe they're in Peru, or near there. We can correct that on there. Those things are real life. They're really interesting.
Yeah.
So I like how, and it makes sense if you're a satellite and all you do is look at the Earth all the time, that you would grow an appreciation for certain things.
Yeah.
So
I do like that one ending scene. Spike complains that there are now the three things he hates most in this world: animals, children, and women with attitude. And as he says, "Why are they all on my ship?" There is a smiley face circling all of South America, just laughing at his pain.
This was a great episode. I liked Edward. Yes, she is a little eccentric and a little. It kind of reminded me of Tina from Borderlands 2. The one that's like explode. Yeah, Tiny Tina.
Oh yeah.
So kind of like you see I guess in my perspective, it's like you can be a crazy, emotional girl. You just need to be young enough to justify it. And she's just a young, eccentric genius.
And the thing is, we had never seen a character like her before. I mean, she's eccentric. She is geeky, but the way she moves.
Yeah.
So weird.
Well, it's like exaggerated and it just like kind of jumps from thing. No, but like if I had to be on the ship with either Faye Valentine or Edward, I would rather sit and have a conversation with Edward than Faye Valentine.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, so it's like she's a better character. Yeah. She has more oh gosh, what's the term? Like she has more justification and purpose and background and reasoning for why she is she's like an orphan. She's been on the planet mostly raising herself. She's allowed to be a little kooky.
Yeah. I'll admit, I guess that if I was in a room with Faye Valentine, she would probably try to calm me into giving her some of my money.
Yeah.
And,
exactly.
And Edward would probably.
You would talk about computers.
Well, that and she would probably say some really weird stuff that would make me cringe a little.
Yeah, that and you can never trust Faye Valentine.
Yeah, true. Okay, and let's see, episode 10. This is where you left off. Okay.
So which one is this one? All right, Jet's ex-girlfriend. Alright, so for the most part, I like this episode. I like learning about Jet's background, about his in the police.
Do you think you know how to spell this? Gaiaman Elgely? Crap.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably something Japanese. Maybe it's some place or something. So, yeah, I like this one. I like how, like, it's definitely clear that they have. I like how they set up that she just left and he doesn't know why and he's not mad about it, but he just wants to know. It's just like, a tragic romance. I liked it. I like how the new boyfriend is in trouble, kind of because of her, because of the loan shark. I liked how he went ahead and brought him in, not to get back at her, but because like someone else is going to do it, and she may be in danger, so he went ahead and did it. The only thing so I really liked this episode. I liked it was I guess another moon, another terraformed planet, which was interesting to see. Had a cool space chase. Well, not space, but they were in water and spacecraft chasing around each other. What I didn't like was, and this is again of just the people writing female characters, the reason that she left was that he was like too perfect and like she wouldn't make mistakes under him, and that she wanted to like go off and make her own mistakes. Just because like he was all like
it's really sad though that her mistake gets a bounty on her head.
Like it was a bad. They could have. Again, it makes women seem dumb and indecisive and not knowing what they want, and it's this fault. It's like she should have left because maybe she met someone else younger, or not someone else, but that she like maybe had been with him for a long time. She wanted to. It's okay to experience new things, but like she literally said like that like things were too good with him, and that she wanted to make her own mistake. It's okay if she said she wanted to experience different things and she wanted to explore, and maybe he never wanted to leave the planet or something like that, but just the fact that like she literally said she wanted to make her own mistakes and that she wouldn't be able to make these mistakes with him. It was this up to that moment, I liked everything about the episode except for that.
Okay.
I just need better written female characters. Like in Mass Effect. I like the female characters in Mass Effect much more. And in Firefly. Yeah, like the engineer, like the female engineer.
Kaylee?
Yeah. Great female character.
Even in Aura was a pretty good female character for you?
They're all good, and they can all have their own flaws, but they can't have every flaw like Babe Valentine.
You really do not like her.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I'll admit, and I feel sorry for any woman who cosplays as her because she has such a ridiculous outfit.
Well, I'm trying to think of like a similar character. You know that episode where Malcolm gets married to that woman that he thinks is just a simpleton?
Oh yeah, I'll admit, yeah, Saffron was a really good character.
So she was a con artist.
Oh yeah, and she is played by Christina Hendricks, Joanne from Mad Men.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, same exact actress.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
I know. Really shows up how great of an actress she is.
So
very gorgeous too.
So yes, most definitely.
Chris, don't forget you're married.
No, I would have been tricked by her several times. It's like Malcolm. No, but so here's like the comparison between those two characters. Both con artists. You can't trust anything they say. They're both looking out for themselves. But at the same time, it seems like the character in Firefly is at least has a plan and knows what she's doing, and is just more intelligent. Like she.
Well, okay, yeah, she is more intelligent than Faye Valentine.
And like yes, she's been like it's just she's so much more likable because
really
no, even though she's doing bad things, she's good at it. Rather than Faye Valentine, who is manipulative, selfish, but doesn't really seem to be like isn't doing it for a purpose, isn't doing it for her for an objective. She's just doing it because that's all she is.
Remember, viewers, he's only seen the first 10 episodes. I'm sure his opinion of her will change as the series progresses.
So yeah, but in general, like that is a better that Firefly character. I forget, like Malcolm's wife.
Saffron.
Saffron.
Well, then again, no one really knows what her real name is.
She's a much better character than Faye Valentine, even though they play similar roles.
Well, Saffron's she's more sociopathic. I mean, don't forget, she is a villain, and she deserves to be a villain. And Faye Valentine, I'm not sure. She would probably be an even worse bad guy, to be honest.
So, we can. I think I've seen 11, so we can.
You sure?
Yeah, we can just go on to the next one. Oh yeah, again, this shows my sci-fi love. This is the one where
Oh yeah.
they get attacked.
Oh god, yes, this episode is freaking hilarious.
So they're all on the ship, and one of them gets bit. The jet gets bit, and they don't know from what. And as the course of them investigating, there's essentially a space blob. That
This episode also pays homage to Alien.
yeah, it has the flamethrower, it has the motion detector. I liked everything about it. Oh, and another Faye Valentine brand. It's not. She doesn't show any concern until she discovers that she's been bit, and then it's just like, "Woe is me! Everything is terrible." She doesn't care at all about Jet or anyone else on the ship. It's just like if she was the last one, instead of Spike being the last one, I think Faye Valentine would have just like got on the scout ship and just left. She would have just abandoned everyone.
She probably would.
But speaking bad, but a bad trait of Spike's character, this was all his fault. He left something in the refrigerator.
Yes, that is the moral of this story. You know, you have 5 people in a spaceship being attacked by an alien reminiscent.
4 people and a dog.
Oh yeah, 4 people and a dog. I keep on forgetting that it is a dog for some reason. Yeah, and the moral of the story is to not leave expired food in the refrigerator. That's where the blob monster came from.
No, this was a really good episode. It definitely has Aliens homages to it, and it also has 2001: A Space Odyssey homages to it. It was like when he's floating around in space and the music is playing, and and the airlock scene is definitely straight out of Aliens. So,
and they defeat the alien by Edward mistaking it for pudding and eating it.
Yeah, that was a little weird, but I'm fine with it. But yeah, this was a really good episode. This was definitely one of the ones that highlight the strengths of it and just the clever writing. And that's all. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay, so that is the first 11 episodes of Cowboy Bebop. So, do you have any final thoughts besides Faye Valentine? I think you pretty much ranted enough about Faye Valentine.
So, I like that it's gritty future. Kind of similar to Aliens, Futurama, Star Wars, and in certain terms, like even Guardians of the Galaxy, where it is future tech. There are these things that are amazing, but it doesn't always work perfectly. It's not, everything's not clean and perfect, which makes sense. I mean, if you look outside now and you look inside 50 years ago or 100 years ago, there would people be happy, like people would be 200 years ago, people would be amazed with like being able to wash with the washboard rather than, so it's just, it was interesting. I liked it. Gritty future, this is probably a more realistic future than like Star Trek, where like everything is clean and proper and perfect. Even though I love Star Trek too. Don't hate me in the comments. Star
No,
Trek
they're
is-
probably gonna hate you for what you said about Faye Valentine.
I mean, like, so I like it. Gritty future. The guns are fine. I just want some future tech to be mixed in with there. But since it's only 70 years in the future, well, 2070, so I guess like 90 years from, or this took place. This was written in the 90s. So I mean, whatever.
The show was released in 1998.
So I definitely think they advanced the space technology and the gate technology faster. We're not going to have terraformed all these planets
Which is such a shame.
by
That
2070.
would be so cool.
I would almost prefer if this was taking place in 2170.
That would actually, yeah, that would make more sense.
It would make more sense. Like again, and you could justify the guns as just like they're super cheap and it would be enough of the regular government to fall, and but either way, and also each planet seems to be completely independent of each other. Like they don't seem to be like any part of any unified government.
Well, I mean, the ISSP seems to be the one unifying government, but they're just really bad at their job.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I like the setting. I like the style. There's not too many overt things that I don't understand this because I'm not Japanese. It takes place in a future that is completely different from ours. So if there is anything I don't understand, it's not like, oh, this is Japanese, I don't understand it. It's like, oh, this is the future and I don't understand this society. So it's a good bridge rather than something being overtly foreign. Everything is foreign because it's in a future world. Most of the characters I like Edward. The AI was a really interesting, even though you don't see him all that much. The dog is fine. Maybe there'll be more in that. I like Spike. He's kind of interesting. He needs to have an emotional arc as well.
He does.
Yeah.
He will.
Jet is the best character. Like if I had to hang out with someone, it would be Jet because he's the only one that seems to care about other people consistently, and is wiser than the other ones.
You don't have to mention Faye Valentine. You've
No.
already been very vocal about how you feel about her.
Yeah, she's hot and she's a femme fatale. And if you have the body for it, I can understand cosplay people dressing up as her, but she's just like a poorly written female character, and no one should ever aspire to her. So that, but maybe she gets better.
She does get better. Don't worry.
Yeah. So the eco-terrorist episode was great.
The pilot was great.
Yeah, the pilot. Yeah, so the pilot. The eco-terrorist one. What was the name of that one?
That was called Gateway Shuffle.
Yeah, that was really good. And then whatever the Earth one was as well.
Wait, Earth? The one with Ed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those were all good.
Yeah, Jamie with Edward.
Yeah. And the Toys in the Attic, the aliens ripoff. But
the next few episodes do get pretty good too.
yeah, I mean, I'll definitely continue watching them.
Let's see. Episode 17, the Mushroom Samba. I got a feeling you're gonna like this one.
Okay. Yeah. So it's well. The thing that really brought me around to the whole genre of anime because of the show, I was like, oh, if I had the story of Firefly to tell, but I only had $1 million, if I only had $100,000, it would be a cartoon.
Chris, animation is much more expensive than you think.
Well, no, I'm sure it's expensive. But at the same time, it has to be for sci-fi. like if this was like a sitcom or like
Okay, then yeah, it wouldn't be as good.
like if Firefly was animated, it would be cheaper to what it is, and like it's like what you have 350 million viewers to advertise in the United States. Our culture gets like broadcasted around the world. There's like it's probably like a billion English, like way over a billion English speakers. So there's more money to be had in an English anything. So I guess what I mean is just like if Japanese is going to produce a high quality story like this, it would be easy, especially for a sci-fi where you have to like have spaceships and CG budgets. It would be easier to have it be animated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Cowboy
Bebop is in an animation, so I think it's called a cell animation, which I'll admit it really helps emphasize the gritty future. But it barely used the CGI. I think it used CGI when showing the planets, but that's perfectly okay.
Yeah, no, that's like the space, so that's fine. What I just mean is like, I'm sure the budget for this was less than Firefly, and they have similar stories, similar backgrounds, and so if you had to tell that story, and you didn't have the resources that Hollywood has. It would it sold me on anime is just a medium that you can tell great stories on if you just don't have the same level of budget that's available to you.
Well, that's and with animation you can get a lot with a few scenarios that you just cannot get away with in real life, like a couple of action stunts.
Yeah, that, and like for example, like Game of Thrones. If there was an anime that was the exact same story of Game of Thrones, I would really enjoy it, and
you would get to see more dragons, and
right.
You could actually see Tyrion without his nose.
Right, and you would see way more the dire wolves because like the dire wolves are like super expensive to like CGI as well as the dragons. So you're right. If Game of Thrones was told as an anime, it in certain ways would be better than the live action.
But when I do find this kind of sad, though, since a lot of adults don't really consider animation like a viable medium. They treat it more as a genre. Like everything animated is only for kids or people with juvenile humor. Hint, hint, Family Guy.
Well, I was about to say like Family Guy. Futurama is. I guess it's for a comedy satire.
Yes, but people cannot take a serious cartoon series seriously.
Yeah, I guess they're all comedies because even King of the Hill, which isn't like as much as a direct, like it's a satire genre overall, but it's not like as satirical as Family Guy.
Yeah, if anything, it was surprisingly grounded in reality for cartoon series.
Yeah, so but you're right. There isn't like a Wire version or so there's not that many drama cartoons,
and that's why I've been trying to get you into anime. Because the thing is, there are some legitimately good dramas in the anime genre, but but before seeing Cowboy Bebop, you didn't seem very open to it.
Yeah, that's true, and I was wrong. I was prejudiced against animes.
Oh,
that was wrong.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that much, but thank you.
So yeah, I'm not gonna like watch all the animes.
No, Chris. Before you watch an anime, let me know about it first. Because thing is, Chris, anime can get really freaking weird.
Yeah, and you know how like my reaction to like bad female characters, and I suspect there's probably a lot of bad
yeah. But Chris, don't forget, American media is also guilty of giving us bad female characters.
And you know what? I blame my bad, the Sailor Moon that came over, and like Pokemon. I just like it. It wasn't as good as Western cartoons at the same time, like the Batman animated series. Batman.
Yeah. Pokemon's a terrible animated series, and I do not care how many people I piss off. Pokemon, the anime, is terrible.
But we can wrap it up. I enjoy it. I'm gonna continue to watch, and we'll do, I guess, another one when I watch the second half, or if you want to do 3.
We watch the next 11 episodes. I think the final few we should probably make a special video about the ending.
Okay. All right. So bye everyone, and give Cowboy Bebop a try.